Right, let's bring in Limpopo Premier Dr. Phophi Ramathuba on the show. Very good evening to you, Premier. Thank you so much for your time. My understanding is that this conference ultimately seeks to create some synergy, an ecosystem of companies to bring some sort of meaningful contribution to the industrialization agenda of the province. I know that you've taken a global view of the province as this conference is underway. What is your focus?
Evening, Justin, and evening to all your viewers out there. And then thank you for giving us this opportunity. As the Limpopo provincial government, we have taken an approach to make sure that indeed we have been making a lot of speeches and a lot of pronouncements on focusing on issues of economic growth, which is accompanied by development, because at the end of the day, what we want to see happening is our people getting employment and getting jobs. So our approach this time around would be an action-orientated, wherein it's not just the pledges that we continue to receive, but it's the meaningful pledges in the sense that if any company that, for instance, whether it's because we are hoping to achieve two major goals through this conference. We are currently have presented our investment book so that they know the list of all potential areas for investing, whether it's within the mining and the industrialization and beneficiations, whether it's in agriculture and agro-processing, whether it's in tourism, whether it's renewable energy, looking at hydrogen economy, whether it's automobile. So all those areas that we have classified them and presented those opportunities to all our potential investors. And secondly, we are also saying at the end of this conference, we should be able to answer a question as to what is it that is holding us back from being able to achieve the economic growth and development, if indeed, as I've indicated, we have got abundance of natural resources, including the minerals endowment. So
Premier, if you'll allow me, I know that during this third installment of the conference, 37.5 billion rand in pledges are being committed by investors. I mean, that in itself is a substantial amount. It's all good and well to have these pledges and, you know, have this event, bring on entrepreneurs, engage with them. But what will happen beyond the conference? Because there's been concern around bureaucratic red tape and the barriers that delay the implementation of these projects that have been so heavily invested in. The impact, of course, comes down to rising unemployment and exacerbated poverty.
Yeah, so that's exactly what I was saying when it comes to the second goal, trying to answer that question, to say, what is it that is holding us backward? If indeed last year, like you're saying, almost 38 billion was pledged and committed, but however, we have not seen any development. Because once you have development, that is when you'll start to see jobs being created. And up to so far since the conference started, we've been able to deal with a number of issues that are supposed to be enablers towards those investments. And I give an example. If you, Desiree, you are a mining mogul, you want to invest in mining, you have identified minerals that you want to mine, and you put a pledge of saying, I'm going to put 50 billion towards establishing this mine. For you to start to mine, and you can only start to see jobs when you start to mine. If it's a project on infrastructure, when you start with construction, that's when you will start to see jobs happening. But unfortunately, until such time as government, everyone play their roles. One is not only the issue of red tapes, and that also we try to be addressing it utilizing the one-stop center. But secondly, it's an issue of enablers like your road infrastructure. Most of the investors who are failing to kick off with their projects will indicate to you that the areas that we would want to start the development, or if it's an industry, it's not accessible in terms of the roads. And that is where the provincial government and also the local government, because some roads are local roads, some are provincial roads, others are national roads. So until our entities, SANRAL, RAL, and also local municipalities work together towards making sure that those roads are available and provided. The second issue that we've seen being burning issue, and of course it's a pain for me also as a premier of a province, it's issue of water. Water is not just a challenge for our people to consume. It's a major challenge because it has become an impediment towards economic growth, because industrialization is not happening. Mining in certain areas, it's not able to happen. Coca-Cola at some stage was even threatening to leave our town because of the water challenges. Now, the other issues will be energy supply, which we are working with the Minister of Electricity, and other issues would be on network connectivity. So what has made, maybe to answer your question, what has made it difficult for us to see those pledges being translated into jobs is the fact that a number of areas which different institutions must play their part have not played their part. Hence, this time around, our conference is graced by all our local mayors who have got the responsibility for water and roads, all our executive mayors with the responsibility of water, all our MECs are here, some are responsible for water, and whatever they are supposed to. What we simply
Premier, I'm glad you mentioned water, because you know that's a serious problem that Limpopo grapples with, water scarcity, which is substantial when it comes to the development problem in Limpopo, limiting both economic and social activities in the area. So it will almost go to waste that there's so much investment, but the one resource that is very crucial cannot be provided. What does that now mean for you in terms of ensuring that this problem is done away with, and that some sort of urgency is attached to ensuring that the water scarcity issue is no longer such a massive problem?
You know, the first issue that we needed to do was to diagnose what could be the problem, what could be the challenge, which is resulting, and I must be the first one to admit that there are certain projects which was initiated as early as 2011, 2017, even today they've not yet been completed. And the major challenge, it's not in most of our area, it's not the source, because you have got, for instance, in Wembe and part of Giani, you've got the Nandoni Dam, which was built specifically to make sure that water it's supplied to Giani, to Tulamela municipalities and Collins Chawan. Up to so far, the challenge is not the source, the challenge is the reticulation system. Water being taken out of Nandoni Dam to go and supply the citizens or villagers in Giani. And why is it in that? It's the issue of capacity. And I've checked with some of our municipalities, for instance, the Wembe district municipality, we're having a serious challenge when it comes to engineers. You must also remember, Desiree, when it comes to water, the water authority or the mandate lies with the district municipalities, and in some areas like Waterberg, with the local municipalities and the National Department of Water and Sanitation. That is why you'll remember last week, Friday, when the president visited us, fortunately for us, in his delegations, we had a Minister of Water and Sanitation. We also had the Deputy Minister, and we have raised this issue sharply to say, as provincial government, our people do not know that as a provincial government, you do not have the mandate to or water authority, but it is lies within the national government and also within our municipalities. When there's no water, they look at the Premier. And also, for me, it's a problem because without this a resource which you've already indicated, not only does our people face serious challenges But equally, our economic growth will never be realized if we don't address this issue. Hence, we are saying we have now made diagnosis that there is no capacity. It doesn't matter how much billions could be pumped into municipalities until that time when we have the resource. Hence, we've started a homecoming campaign where I've already had discussions with a number of expertise engineers across the country, whom majority of them will be citizens of this province, but have left this province for greener pastures, to say, can't we come together and look into a way how they can help our municipalities to address this challenge? Because the problem, it's just, for me, capacity. Same goes to Skubune. You'll find that a Flag Bushelo Dam is full, a Hope Dam is full, but there's no water that is coming out of a tap in Jane First. The people of Jane First do not have water, but the dams are full in most cases. So we need to really unlock those challenges, because once that is done, you will see our people will be having water, and also industries will begin to grow, because this much needed resource will be available.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time. Let's perhaps leave it there for now. Limpopo Premier there, Dr. Phophi Ramathuba, speaking to us about this project.